So yeah, they finally made it and put the classic Comet Mission games, CM1 games, all three of them, Beyond Overlord, Barbarossa to Berlin, and Africa Corps, which are still among the best war games you can get to this very day. And even if there is Comet Mission 2, those games have their own unique place, as they have a different design philosophy, at least in my book, than Comet Mission 2, which is rather going into the microscopic, into the very detailed resolution of tactical combat, while the classic combat missions are more going into this table wargaming approach, where you not recheck the line of fire, can I hit that dude's shoulder exactly with that round, every round being simulated, but basically more abstracted, which can be a great thing. More microscopic resolution doesn't mean in all cases better. Sometimes it's also simply play more like by ASL rules. If you're sitting in a bush, you receive certain bonuses, and then in the background there's some calculations being done. This game already received a GOG version, which was absolutely fine. Perfect, not perfect. There's only one thing missing in my book. That is widescreen support, and finally we got it. I remember I even had a reward. I offered at some point, I offered $5,000 to somebody to make widescreen widescreen support and there's also high resolution support, if in case that interests you. So yeah, if that is important to you, I think that is the main selling point. Other than that, I don't see really that much. There's some stuff if you press the F2. You can now use the mouse wheel. Okay, there's something you probably could also have done with the auto hotkey script. You can swap some keys, but as far as I know, there's not really any further hotkey modification possible. So that is still limited, and if you want to use modern controls, from $5,000 to $5, so that was cheap. Good that perhaps they didn't heard about that. I mean, if they would have, back in the days, if they would have come to me and said, Jimmy, we make it all three games for widescreen support, I would have paid up. As far as I know, if you want... that is my smartphone. Okay. If you want the modern controls, you still need to use the auto hotkey script. I use this one, which emulates basically the modern Comet Mission 2 engine controls. WASD, QE camera movement with shift speeding up the movement, I think. It looks like that, you can copy it. This is not really important, that here is important. Two additional mouse buttons. Middle mouse button is doing something, I don't know what hashtag was. But especially camera movement. So that is unfortunately not a thing, but can be handled with auto hotkey. Other than that, the site shows there are some mods and scenarios. I can't tell now, re-included, but I doubt that they remade anything new. Also, I doubt that any bugs or whatever. I mean, some of those games have minor bugs. And there's also some difference between all three games. For example, Beyond Overlord has a bit less features than the two newer ones, but they didn't change anything in that regard. That is also good, because otherwise those games would lose compatibility to 10-15,000 scenarios available. This game back in the days was an extreme revolution. I mean, Comet Mission 2 Shock Force was quite a revolution. It was also basically first game ever that portrayed modern warfare with IEDs. I think stuff like that was also already present in Modern Warfare. But other than that, all this IED stuff, asymmetric warfare, man, that was absolutely in the Kinderschuhe back in the days in 2007, 2008. But this year was also a revolution. I mean, games before that, you had here Steel Panthers and such games. Steel Panthers was especially a big thing. And then Combat Mission came around with that Charles Moyan dude, that dude simply coded crazy stuff there with those dynamic campaigns, the resolution of tactical combat. Also, the visuals, I mean, they still have a very unique charm. You can immediately see if that is Combat Mission 1. You can immediately tell that. So yeah, scenario-wise, there was not really... the Steam page shows that there's some stuff added, but it's all classic content. Also those mod CDs, I think they're coming from the Anthology disc. Combat Mission 1 to 3 was then released after, a bit later on in the Anthology version, which came with all 3 games and I think a mod owner CD. So there's still basically outdated mods or some selected mods. However, if you want to read the entire thing, all scenarios, all campaigns, I think no other wargame ever saw such a tonnage of modding and custom scenarios and campaigns. This game has over, I don't know, 20,000. It was back in the days, it was crazy. People went nuts when Combat Mission was released. It's basically as a wargame Jesus arrived. And there's still one dude saved it up because wargame community is really the champion of preserving content. Of course, they are not. They're exactly the opposite. There's only one dude man here on Archive who kept everything rolling. That guy has most of the content saved because most of the websites went down. Many even didn't bother to and 4 gigabyte, I tell you, dude has here 2,300 mods, 2,700 files. It's of course hard to find, but you will find a ton of mods. Unfortunately, websites are down, so you need to figure out for yourself what is what mod. There was a website years ago, I think it was called CMx1 or something. Is down. As much stuff is down. Even the Combat Mission 2 stuff is now disappearing. All those pages change, and then it was always back in the days. It was always overcomplicated. You had to contact some dude on the forums, then you had to register, then you had to send this and that picture depot, man. And people simply stopped using it. Some simply upload it on the forums, and that forum will also sooner or later go down probably, and then those mods are also gone. We also recently lost access, damn it, do I even have the files? To Combat Mission 1 Afghanistan, Combat Mission 2 Afghanistan. Can't buy it anymore. I hope I can still download it somewhere. One of best tactical Afghanistan games. Still very good. Yeah, alternate wars, yeah, check him out. He is Preserving King. That dude is doing here Medal of Honor job here of preserving scenarios and everything, especially for combat mission games. So we will probably need to start out preserving it for the Combat Mission 2 games as well. There's also content already going missing in action. He has mods and he has other scenarios. I tell you, all 3 games together, I need to check my old folders. You can move the scenarios over. That's why also important it is that they didn't change too much in those games, because otherwise the entire compatibility would go out of the window. So everything is compatible with the old scenarios. You can bring them over to your Steam install from your GOG or download it here and have access to thousands of scenarios and campaigns. Here, those files. Especially here, Barbarossa to Berlin was the most popular one. Let's see what that file is. It mods? Ah, that is mods. Okay. But there's also scenarios. Yeah, everything is zipped up. This really, those files are hard to pass, but the size is 860 megabytes. If you consider a scenario as, I don't know what, a couple of kilobytes big, you can. Here, 840 scenarios, 2,100 scenarios, 3,000. The number is absurd. If I show you my GOG install now to check out the game, I didn't port them over. However, there is no new, perhaps they added here and there, but I think already in the Anthology version they added some popular custom campaigns. I think the biggest thing is really the widescreen support. I had a problem. I couldn't get the game running. a lot of other people as well. I think there's something wrong with the direct draw, or it's limited, especially for modern graphic systems that operate on hybrid. A lot of people run, especially notebooks, but also PCs on hybrids in order to save hardware. Yeah, if you have a ultra hardcore $2,000 graphic card, you don't want it to ramp up while, I don't know, using Firefox or whatever. Many operate hybrid systems. So if you use Firefox Notepad or watch a movie, the Intel integrated, quite powerful on modern CPUs. You might even not notice if you play on integrated anyways, but it seems like there's something wrong with the direct draw in regard on those systems especially, but also some, yeah, but it's usually what they screw up when they do, when they build those wrappers, they usually screw up hybrid support by doing here and there mistakes. You can fix that by installing for example, by using the direct draw from the new DG Voodoo 2, which you can find here. That's freeware. Simply download that and get the direct draw, D-draw, DLL, replace it or back up your old one, which is also some modified compat version, which is another wrapper D-draw version to make those games running on modern systems. Yeah, the controls. Exactly what the controls are. Yeah, okay, mouse wheel. We will check it out, how good the mouse wheel is. You can, of course, also get it working with the auto hotkey, but perhaps it is more gradual. The original game has rather crude zoom controls. Would be, of course, cool, but we will see. But yeah, with control-wise, I mean, you can switch the camera controls with but that will not give you WASD controls. You will then get, you will switch the numpad, I think, with the arrow keys. That is what you can do now. You can use the mouse wheel. Yeah, widescreen support is the biggest thing. It's also not running faster. Anyway, I think the GOG version is already running. The original compat has, for some reason, a 60 FPS limit. I'm not sure if the GOG version has it or if that is even required. I had a feeling I run Classic Combat Mission faster than 60 FPS and never had a problem there. But perhaps it was not the case. But yeah, use that, or you can also use the newest direct draw compat. I had issues with that. I got garbled text, but many report it works. That is a GitHub page. But yeah, the WASD controls, I was also expecting at least that option. I mean, a lot of people these days play with WASD controls and QE for camera rotation, but yeah, in case you want that, perhaps they add it later. Use auto hotkey and try the script or modify it. I showed it before. And you download that file here, perhaps don't unpack it, but here you will get, that is really, I think, the mega pack, but there might be another one even. But that guy has it all, or most of 99%. Which are definitely not included there, but it comes already, the original game has a ton of content already. Because it is covering the entire Eastern Front, in contrast to Red Thunder, which is starting with Operation Bagration. This here starts with Barbarossa to Berlin. Yeah? So it covers the early German-Soviet war. And includes also minor access states like Romania, Hungary, even Italy. And some others. Operation-wise, this offers dynamic campaigns in contrast to the more linear, more handwritten campaigns of the Modern Combat Mission. That has pros and cons. Can also be boring to play dynamic campaigns. But it was also quite... I mean, Steel Panthers already had some stuff like that. But yeah, you capture terrain and then the next mission starts out there and you get recover, repair, check the manual. It was quite deep, man. It was really some programming not even seen in other genres. A combat mission was really some par excellence programming that Moilian, nobody saw him ever alive since 30 years. Some people believe he elevated to a god somewhere in Tibet. Others they saw him free climbing the Mount Everest. and never returned. Others say he lives in some harem with 20 women. But yeah, he was Jimmy, that dude, man. He was absolutely. He worked, I think, also here with the other big names together in some of those famous studios. But that guy is absolutely. He programmed some crazy stuff there. It's never seen before. I mean, Sleependers had this more Combat Mission 2 like system, which is always cool, where you buy your units and then you progress the missions. So yeah, operations can be interesting, but can also be boring if you have a good first battle. You might steamroll the enemies. The AI sometimes has a bit struggle there in those operational dynamic campaigns. As in Gravity teams, the AI always struggles without good handwritten plans. That is a big advantage, of course, of the CM2 more linear system, where a lot of stuff is handmade and not under the regime of attack AI control, which especially during offensive operations, offensive maneuvers will struggle. No matter all this AI talk, there was basically in video gaming, there was no real AI advances in the last 20-40 years. You could even say it regressed, right? It got even worse. Yeah, but that is of course available. That's one page. Oh, okay. One page, yeah. Zelo, yeah. Some big tanks, Tonys. So yeah, you can here see your nice old school gray Wehrmacht tanks with this short 75ers. Jimmy Folk, there's mods for winter war content with Finland. So yeah, about modding, I mean, there's a million of mods. There's some mods, or some, yeah. But the game, I must say, is also already pretty good from the out of the box. It has authentic sounds. Find the skins are pretty good. They are, of course, perhaps here and there not 100% historical, but Common Vision already has a quite high standard. The German machine guns sound like they should. But yeah, there's sound packs, skin packs, everything you can check out. There's millions of skins. I mean, it was crazy. It was, of course, also easier to make mods for those games. I think this game was really had the biggest modding community ever of a war game. Followed by Steel Panthers perhaps, but yeah, Classic Common Mission blew it out of the water. It was really the early 2000s, man. Best golden times of modding, man. People were so crazy. Yeah, so everybody talked in forums and whatever. I mean, I didn't even witness that, man. I didn't play war games back in the days. I played whatever. This was a small scenario, perhaps. Partisan action. About settings for all three games, make sure to switch if you want full realism. Switch to extreme. I think that I recommend to leave the scenario default. Yeah, you can give the computer stronger units or more deployment points, which might be helpful or sometimes even demanded by the scenario author. I think that sometimes in briefings, especially in the custom campaigns, they say, okay, yeah, if you want a challenge, put the axis on, or the enemy on 25%. It's especially for operations important. Because in operations, you might steamroll the enemy, and then the basically operation is over, because you then can basically roll to the end of the map. Yeah, often you're playing on a big map with an outtake. The more terrain you capture, the further you advance the battlefield. But the AI will not recover anymore, because the reinforcements will not arrive fast enough. But with this, it's really cool. You can perhaps give the AI some bonus. Check the mission briefing for that. Yeah, hard seat, everything is possible. And this game has walk spotting. So if one unit spots, I think all units are there. It has not, I mean, that is how Combat Mission 2 has still to this very day It's crazy that nobody wrote a PhD about that. Comet Mission 1 is already good, but Mission 2 is absolutely nuts. But I mean, also Charles Mayan is also that dude who paints a Mona Lisa and puts it into the basement for nobody to see and never talks about it. He has probably also a curing for cancer, but he didn't bother to release it. That is for you, Charles Mayan, man. He's the anti-show-off dude, man. That's most people don't even people with 10-20 years Comet Mission experience can't figure out spotting. And to this very day you see false explanations. It's extremely deep. There's not a single game that comes even close, not even 50%, to what is going down in CM2, even if most of this stuff is not really that mission critical. But both games are extremely revolutionary. CM1, CM2. A Shock Force was also nuts. But most people couldn't even figure. It's like, you're coming to Neanderthalers, man, with a laser, and they say, okay, what is this? Can I hunt dinosaurs? Is it? Okay. Good. Recon. Bicycle infantry, okay. Oh, cars, cool, man. This here's some what is that here? What nation are we? Hungarian stuff, okay. Good, reduced recon company, bicycle infantry. Bicycle infantry, okay. Yeah, but they are probably dismounted. You will not roll in. I mean, they're not rolling with a bicycle into the combat, yeah. But sure, yeah, I mean, back in the days they used bicycles. Probably on steel tires. The Sinai pack also has campaigns too. Yeah, exactly. That big Sinai campaign has everything. Yeah. I have it installed, everything on the other one. It is something like 20-30 pages. It is. Perhaps don't install it in the beginning because it's too much. What's the best combat mission campaign you have played? Well, it's difficult. I mean, I think some of those custom campaigns was super crazy. What that guy did is that, I mean, that guy was really the scripting god and got everything out of the engine. Schwoff was good, yeah. Good writing. Really fun. But also this Tiger campaign here, that Dragonwind did some really good campaigns. Really fun ones, authentic ones. Then that guy who, I think the best campaign I ever played was here, that of the, man, those guys were also, actually, Combat Mission had some geniuses working there, man, some Einsteins. The campaign of the Heaven and Earth mod for Shock Force, the Vietnam mod, that FOB campaign was absolutely nuts. That is like playing a new game. That is like, I don't know. It's also such a unique experience. You will find no other game offering that. Heaven and Earth had some the year of the monkey campaign, or what is it called? That campaign is absolutely brutal nuts. And that guy, one guy that made the city campaign where you're driving around and you play that one mission for 5 or 6 hours and stuff is happening. Moss, I think his name, he made also those guys scripted some crazy campaign. I mean, that is not even, nobody ever made stuff like that for other video games. So like playing here a campaign on a single map for how stuff, maps change, and they're even working with the wrong button. Of course, deactivate your auto hotkey script if you have one with suspend, otherwise so many of those will not work. That is a realistic scale. The normal is to enlarge those. Usually you don't want to play, I don't know, it depends. Perhaps I play always with realistic. You see those cars look way smaller now. They're not that big, but I like it, cool. I've never played with this Hungarian. Okay, next. Smoke graphics, Shift I. Okay, that was already on high quality. Next, tree coverage. What was it? Which is definitely not on highest. Now it's on highest. I know people that played this game for 15, 20 years and never figured that shit out. Typical combat mission players, man. Good, next. Terrain elements. Is extreme is, I think, always the highest. Again, think about extreme fog of war if you want to play with maximum realism. I mean, that they could have also done, I think, perhaps by presenting a preference phase, but next, horizon range, shift H. Unlimited, usually. Show all moves, targets, that is up to you. I like to see that. All paths, targets. But yeah, it is of course, I like a lot of information, I can handle that. A lot of people get overwhelmed. It's up to you. I mean, show all vehicles should be on, right? Of course. Objective flags are on, pretty sure. Yeah. Sound is on and ambient. You can also turn off the ambient if you don't like it. Unit bases, yeah, that's up to you. That is in a setup phase. They will let it disappear. Those green things. You can turn them off with Shift B if you don't like this green thing, but it is helpful often. I think there's also, if you don't use them, you will see, yeah, you will see those boxes when selecting. So it depends, yeah. I mean, they are not really that beautiful. True, but it's old school, man. To me, that is the military. The military is about functionality, not about, can I have can I have? To me, no. You will use green, standard sized unit bases. Yeah. But I like the blue one more. No, you will use green. No, back to your table. Command your battalion. Good. Next, labels. We can keep that open. I like to keep that on. For example, you immediately have the information they are low on ammo, which I wouldn't have known before. Something like destroyed and everything. But if that is too much clutter for you, I like clutter. 3 men per squad. That is simply because there's this ASL and there's for simple different board games. But usually you want 3 members. Camera shake is on. I think that is when something blows up. Weather fog is definitely not on highest. Now it's on highest. So that is extreme always. Detailed armor hits was on, I guess. Landmarks is on, yeah. Covering arcs, I like to see them. If you set any covering arcs, you will see them. Building shadows is also turned off by default. And that's it, I think we're done. Now you have your next gen, I mean all graphic settings high, with a lot of information. But usually you want of course all. And now I can reactivate my didn't I have turbo button? Perhaps I didn't define it. Or did they move the... it's under my mouse? No. Did they change something? Normally shift gave me the turbo. So it's already the fastest, I'm not sure. Okay, now let's check out the units here. So what is the Tony here? 20mm, long barrel 65. What is it? 6.5, yeah. 65 mm. Nah, that is not as... 20mm, yeah. 65 is the length of the barrel. Wasn't there a way to open? Wait. Ah, enter. Enter gives you even more information. Really cool. Better than in Combat Mission 2. There is a mod which I use for all those values, but it's hard to read. But really nice information. Yeah, you see the speeds, you see the armor penetration on angles. And you can even see the kills. That was in Combat Mission 2. It required an update to get to that point. Okay. That is here some small tank. Some tank cat. I still have some keyboard issues, but that is because of my keyboard. I have problems with the D button, which I don't know why. And a lot of squads. Yeah, in this game they are not represented by... It's not 3 dudes. That is 11 dudes. 3 dudes, that is like an ASL. This entire squad. 2 dudes is half squad, 1 dude is leader or whatever. So it follows this ASL system. That's what I mean with... this is more abstracted, but in a good way. You don't need to sit behind that bush, for example, or behind that tree like in Combat Mission 2. If you hit, for example, if you do the LOS check, I think, or move check, you see open ground, tall pines. And then you receive the tall pines, like in a hex-based game, but without hexes. I mean, Combat Mission uses a rather square system, but it conveys the same. And that can be good. In Combat Mission 2, everybody knows that, man, you're microing every soldier into cover or whatever. Here you work with more abstracted orders. You're not supposed to give those micro orders. This will also induce a lot of delay. There's an orders delay. Which is an interesting idea. So you rather do something like that. And not move here, then after the building move to that little depression, then move here. Which is also great, of course, but sometimes it can be... It is a complete different way of style of play, so I don't say Combat Mission 1 or 2 is superior. Sure, 2 is of course more technically advanced, but 1 is still having its own. And also the retro look is beautiful, yeah? So that is basically, we need to cross there. Good, then let's hand out orders. What's the cancel button? Oh shit. Cancel button is... what's cancel button again? Okay. Do I have all leader? Yeah, leadership is dynamically in this game, which is not always good. So units might attach, you can attach detach units. It has pro and cons. There's a battalion HQ, for example. That guy is now attached to the wrong leader. Yeah, that is a bit annoying sometimes. That is first squad, first platoon. Okay, that is the entire first platoon, B company. Okay? And those dudes are third platoon. For example, that's another HQ. Who did that guy belong to? I don't know, is it an independent team, regulars, rifle squad? No. Third platoon B company. Oh. I see now leadership reattached. It can be good, can be sometimes problematic. So move those units always close like that together. You need to double click the leader. I need to get used to playing combat mission. I didn't play combat mission for so long. Did that guy detach or what? No. Okay. So it can be a bit clunky sometimes, because if you don't move them around, you might change attachment. It is not really, I don't know how much that is impacting, but of course normally you want to have some unit cohesion and don't want 3rd Platoon Rifle Squad running around with the battalion HQ. I don't know how, I think it dynamically changes, or is that only in placement, I'm not sure now. That is weapons platoon. I mean, here it makes sense. I mean, that is a disadvantage of Combat Mission 2. Sometimes you want to attach the weapons. They use local leaders. Yeah, local leaders are still helping, so it's not a problem. But you see, there's advantages and disadvantages. Because in Combat Mission 2 you can't reattach. So that is a weapons platoon. On the tank rifle. Will now play a bit here, not here, super micro. I really like to play Combat Mission 1 a bit more faster paced. And they have a rifle squad, okay. But there's a full, yeah. Well, you can't check for that, but that crossing has not really much cover. We send them over here. I mean, if they get hit. Well, so those dudes could go here. Let's try that approach, but if they get pinned down here, not good. Spotter for 80 mics. Oh. Might be important. TRPs. Unusual engine noise. Okay. That's an unusual engine noise is not good. I mean, you could immediately request 80, yeah, I got 80 mics are not really anti-vehicular. Do you think the other soldiers received I need to check. Didn't really notice a difference. But I think, didn't the Anthology edition or the GOG edition already use HD? I will check. Yeah, exactly. Especially I also like the smaller missions. You find a lot of smaller missions, and I mean this year is not that small, I find. I mean, it's basically a infantry company plus minimum vehicle platoon with some attachments. woods. I also like the limitations more. I find that sometimes in Combat Mission 2 it's too easy to push vehicles through woods and everything. But it's mission design. I mean, you can of course place what many mission designers do is placing heavy woods, which is not traversable for vehicles. So it's not really a limitation, it's mission design. Also, yeah. Let's keep 2 vehicles in reserve. But perhaps with some effect in case we encounter here immediately contact. That is this. That is some tankette or something. Okay. Nice. They can they pass those shallow forts? Yeah. But that tankette, who knows? It's so small. Probably go down immediately. Schwimmwagen. Yeah, the tankette we might keep in reserve. Same for the tank. No, that is. Where did I put the tank? I think by accident. Ah, okay, here. No, it's okay, yeah. Good, for the first turn I might observe. But yeah, widescreen is really cool. That is a unit basis, you can also deactivate them. What was it, Shift B? Yeah. But then it's really hard to spot units. You need to select them. And even then it is hard. That is now orders phase, right? Initial orders phase, yeah. 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 I mean, you could call a AD strike in the immediate, man, and then it's some Kindergartenbus. Where's that spotter? I think on the first turn you might even fire without... I'm not sure. Call it, come on. Okay, psych blocked, cannot be adjusted. Not sure, perhaps there was in the preparation phase there was a option to call prep RT or something. Wait, we already have contact or what? Oh yeah, no, that is wire. Okay. Some fortifications there. Yeah, I don't know if there's in the placement phase if there's another RT order. I didn't check now. Could reload, but nah, come on, let's go. Fire on that TRP. So far, no contact, I guess. Let's see. Okay, AD incoming.
Igenis! Szárnyoldalakat biztosítani.
Oh, looks good. Oh, is that not adjusted later? It means you can't cancel it anymore. Okay. Yeah, good. And then fire them. Good, infantry move out. Ah yeah, the machine gun is not attached, yeah, okay, yeah. But those multi-orders, I think they have some limitations, let me check. Oh no, okay. Ah, those guys better run, man. Ah, contact is not that good. Advanced is pretty cool function. Contact is basically like hunt, I think. I'm not sure anymore, but advance is, I think they will attack. If they lose enemy contact, they will continue moving, which is really cool. Wait, why do they have a target order? Ah no, this is a regular target order, okay. There's something different in this game, I think, with the hunt order. It's crazy how this 2002 game even had voice acting for each nation. Almost 20 years. It's World War II and even better to add German voice, yeah. Now man, this game is, from a technical standpoint, it is not so good it is. Most people, same with Combat Mission 2. Yeah, if you release on Steam, this game looks so old, they can't simply see the detail, for example, of terrain modeling. And yeah, the game, of course, when I was a small stupid kid, I was also thinking, man, why is it looking so? The same for Combat Mission 2. But they don't get it that, for example, Combat Mission 2 still has the most detailed terrain simulation in any tactical game. I mean, there's every bush, every depression, and but it's also a fault of Battlefront, of being of Charles Moyan's almost trolling of not telling the people of the detailed system he put into place. I mean, the manual explains some of the stuff, but as I mentioned, there's people that play this game 10-15 years and still there's countless form threads where people get the spotting wrong, the C3 system wrong, which is absolutely nuts. I mean, here you have box spotting and everything, but this game also was already a technical masterpiece. I mean, Classic Combat Mission is listed in the best games of all times list. I mean, check Metacritic. Even back in the days, people realized this game is revolutionary. Combat Mission is listed, enter Metacritic, best games ever. Combat Mission will appear very fast. It received ratings around 90, 91, 92. As everybody that had at least some clue of this game realized this is absolutely technical masterpiece. Made basically by, I think, a studio of 2 dudes, yeah? 2 dudes? Nowadays you would require 800 dudes, 1,000 times budget, and they would still screw it up. That's why there's no other game that reached ever this point. There's a lot of people that tried, but nobody reached it. And I can tell, I played all war games in existence, I know the real deal, I've seen the reality, I've studied in that regard a lot. I played all those war games, and this is still, to this very day, Combat Mission 1 is among the best made games ever, including Combat Mission 2, of course. But that was already the time where it went off the radar. I mean, Combat Mission 1 released during a time where wargaming was really still in his, in the end stages of its golden era, which basically was from the 70s to the early 2000s. Wargaming was one of the earliest prime genres, because it was the only way to make complex games. It was basically the chess for adults. No. Good, perhaps send a bit the armored cars forward, but without exposing them. There might be AT guns, but we passers can't wait for the infantry. And that is for 2002, yeah. There was nothing else, and there's even to this very day nothing else, except Combat Mission 2, yeah. There's no game, and no matter what you tell me, yeah, Gravi teams, okay, yeah. Jimmy, yeah, you can tell me, of course, it is a good game, yeah, but come on, I mean, if somebody wants to explain me, I mean, Jimmy, if you know what channel I operated, it had all war games, I saw them all. I saw the real deal, I hit OTS. I don't want to sound arrogant, but at some point, perhaps it is better to listen and to chew instead of talk. And listen to those who know. Especially this infantry modeling was really good. Steel Beast already did a good job. Tank versus infantry is a real problem. People can't figure it out. Most games become tank porn. That is, I think especially Combat Mission 2 is doing an extreme good job. But also Combat Mission 1 I did here attacked tanks with infantry squads. They wasted those tanks. Well, you can't expose tanks. Look what is happening also in modern combat to tanks somewhere in cities or whatever. They blow up. If you're not operating in some crazy top-tier thermal with good courage. But those World War II tanks, man. I forgot, what was the contact was stopped? What was the difference? Hunt, contact, I think it is turned around. I think hunt is, for vehicles, continue. I mean, it makes more sense hunting. Why in the modern games, for some reasons, they reduced it to 1, which I don't understand why. It's really a missing thing. One is basically move to contact, is you stop when you have contact. Hunt is rather hunt them down. Yeah? If you see them, fight them. If they disappear, continue. I mean, that is implying hunt. Yeah? If you see a deer, shoot it. If the deer disappears, continue. That is the Oxford definition of how you hunt. Hunt is not, oh man, there's something I want to hunt down. Okay, stop and see what happens next. But for some reason it was perhaps because of the UI or something. I don't know why they dropped that. I think that moved continue movement or advance or hunt, that rear hunt. After they did this, that was rather a mistake. This hunting down is getting you tired very fast. That was rather, I don't know why Charles went for that. Perhaps they read some wrong book or whatever. Or wanted to stress out more the usage of other orders. Yeah, that could be. But that is a rather gamey affair. Don't get away from reality, yeah? No matter. So otherwise there would be no reason to use move. I get it. If a unit is not in contact, which is usually not the case in combat mission. Combat mission is basically if you establish contact. That is when you watch Band of Brothers, some dude comes running. Jimmy, they fired a German machine gun fired front, or I saw some Germans or whatever. That's when combat mission starts, yeah? And then everybody's going into a hunt. Nobody's basically in that patrol stance anymore. That's something that they got a bit wrong in the newer game, especially. It's a bit annoying with the hunt command there, but I think they bettered it up with the new patch. Okay, anti-tank rifle. Yeah, I mean, sure. Come on, let's play it. Just want to enjoy the game now and not here pull off some master general. But yeah, voices, man. I mean, a lot of this stuff is patched, of course, but still, there's still quality you don't see in modern games. With good voices. Even the German voices are really good. They don't talk any bollocks or whatever. Yeah, in Arma or even other games, man, Germans. Nowadays you can use Google Translate. Enter a sentence and Google Translate will even give you, and then you can get to your Discord and say, who is German? Here. Can you read it? Yeah, that is complete bollocks. Oh, okay, how should I write it down? So it is, sorry, but that is laziness if you get stuff like that not done. Back in the days, early 2000s, there was no Discord. The internet was still in the infancy. You had to do proper research. And they could figure out better stuff. Same as movies to some extent. Oh, machine gun, what is it? Somebody's opening fire. Right. What's that? Somebody opened fire. Must be incomings. Sometimes making out who is difficult. Yeah, but quality sometimes is better, man. And back in the days, they had to go to libraries. There was no open source intelligence nowadays, man. You go to YouTube, there's 5 million soldiers that will tell you how it's going down. Still people screw up. Back in the days, there was nothing like that. You had to find real veterans. They perhaps tell you the truth or they tell you bollocks. Not just because somebody was in a combat deployment doesn't mean he really knows what is going down. I know I talked to some veterans who claimed the RPG-7 is a complete ineffective weapon, which is complete nonsense. Sure, if you use faulty Chinese warheads, well, don't even know where front and back is of that weapon. Hey, you will screw it up. Who is receiving? Oh man, they're already tiring. Shit. I don't see any contact, so but we're receiving fire. In classic combat is sometimes a bit hard to tell. What the heck is going on here? What's that for lagging? Oh, is that on purpose, or? Okay. Yeah, but I can't push the armored car through here, it's way too... Oh. Those two Jimmys should move out. Where's the platoon? Yeah, the rifle squads. Nah, it is a shame how that, to some extent, is getting lost, that... Again, somebody painted a Mona Lisa, but most people can't simply tell. Or Mona Lisa, I mean, somebody built a very advanced rocket, but people don't even know what a rocket, or a good rocket looks like. Yeah, that is, I think, a good example. Yeah. You build some technical masterpiece, but there's nobody that can even tell how a masterpiece looks like. They don't have the knowledge. That's also why it draws specific people. But the what you call it, the mainstream can't tell. I have simply no clue. The graphics bad, or why is my tank not seeing anything in the darkness? So bullshit. My T-34 is not seeing anything in the darkness. Yeah, Jimmy, did you ever operate a T-34 in the middle of the darkness in the Soviet steppes with zero light pollution, with any moon or whatever? Good luck. Yeah, try to drive the tank and locate your enemy. But this knowledge nobody has, and especially if that knowledge is also somewhat impaired by modern gaming knowledge or something. I mean, I play Call of Duty. I'm now a military expert. Yeah. And people are really good at pointing fingers first at everything else, but last at themselves. That spotting system, but it's also, that's why I meant they should have spent more time in explaining it, but seems like they are into BDSM, or what Battlefront is into BDSM. They like they like the pain. Instead of simply saying, hey, Jimmys, we did that because research showed this and that. Here, we wrote it down, check it out. Ah yeah, thanks, now I understand. Oh man, that's quite deep what you did. Yeah. Man, crazy. I didn't know that. Yep. There's a machine gun, he's still on the way, wrecked. Here somewhere. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was the internet in 2002. There was little information to be found. They made that really by talking to real people. I mean, both don't have a military background, as far as I'm aware. And they used, yeah, books and everything. And even when it comes to books, I mean, it was not really... I mean, nowadays you have a ton of books, Amazon, Global, yeah, back in the days. Also finding good books about that was not that easy. I see how many historians there are out there. They have perhaps clues about numbers. I see so many YouTube historians. You can tell they have zero clue of combat operations. They can move chits around the map, and they can tell you numbers here and there, numbers input, numbers output, but what is happening in between is a black box for them. How tactical operational warfare looks like, which was quite sophisticated in World War II. I mean, they operated in World War II really on high scale, all forces. Also later on the Soviets, yeah, Operation Bagration is still a nuts military operation. I mean, basically eliminated Army Group Center, also the Germans, man, on that scale. Most militaries can't operate on that scale anymore. Because it is simply scales, millions of soldiers, divisions, amphibious landings, D-Day, coordinating everything. that is, I tell you, to some extent, modern militaries can't operate on that scale. Yeah, or here, Pacific operations. All that air, land, sea stuff, yeah, in the Pacific. That was, and to find out about that and how to realize how that works out and how that conveys into operational and tactical warfare. And there was, in a gaming world, you had really some masterminds, including those combat mission guys, yeah. Sure, also the others, yeah, Grigsby, Tiller, that was the gang, man. That was the gang and the heroes of might and warfare, yeah. Okay, what is with those infantry dudes? I mean, currently we have incoming fire. How much turns do we have? Ah, not that many, okay. But I don't want to send those dudes over there. I currently have still no contact. Let those guys hit those areas. Come on, let's go. But I like it. I mean, you can't even tell where's the incoming fire. You hear the fire, but as a recommander, I even like that minimalistic approach. I often criticize Command Mission 2 for being simply too good in information convey. Yeah, you know everything. You give instant order to people. Some squad steps into an enemy machine gun, you instantly order. I mean, of course, you also need to counteract stupid AI, on which is also Combat Mission games. This auto retreat is some of the best AI in video game history. The tech AI of the new Combat Mission 4 engine games is some of the best AI. What is firing there, man? Ah yeah, okay. We're returning fire. Something coming from Big Blubby Island. Heavy machine gun is on it. Oh, Jimmy. Not good. Heavy machine gun is pinned. Jimmy sees movement. Engaged, whatever that is. But he changed his order to sneak. He realized, nah man, whatever my commander ordered me is not working out. Is he in the woods? Yeah, he's in scattered trees. And you don't need to micro it. Yeah? Just because there are trees standing there, I don't think that makes a difference. So that is more basically board wargaming or ASL style, which that's a bit hard to tell. It could be also. Jimmy, I think movement is not a good idea right now. And put up that machine gun because probably it has a setup time. And engage. Rotate it. There's a foxhole there, okay. But we don't know what is sitting inside, right? Some dude. Oh wait. Yeah, infantry. We know there's infantry in Foxhole, that's all what we know. Let's send up that armored car there. To assist that machine gunner, because that machine gunner is currently, or that machine gun team, it's not a machine gunner, it's one dude but it's 3 guys. Let's do a fast move. How was it again? Shift? No, there's, I think with shift you can also... No, what was it? Control? Ah, right click, right? Yeah, that was always a bit... you need to press cancel button. Yeah, today, exactly, you can today look up everything in seconds. That's why, for example, I have 0 tolerance for people that can't do, that still make obvious, typos or can't get information. You can everything, you Google today, you go to Wikipedia, you go on your Discord, you post a question on Reddit somewhere, you have in 1 minute you have your answer. Back in the days you had to go to the library, you had to know what to look for. I constantly say in the library, hey man, I need the armor values of German World War II armor tech and armor World War II armor tactics. That librarian was looking at you and saying, "What? What do you want? I'm just working here half time, part time." Yeah. And sometimes I really have the feeling we have so much information so fast available, but the product quality or the information product quality is getting worse to some extent. And I have zero tolerance for that. I think it has something to do that everyone can convey his information. Reddit is a good place. I think it is like that. I think it is blue. I think it is green. Steam, I think it is red. People are very eager to simply talk without knowing. I mean, back in the days it was, at least I grew up with being wrong. My job is also being wrong. It's not really a great feat. Yeah? If the frequency of being wrong is rather high, then you should perhaps stop expressing information. But man, nowadays, Jimmy, the wronger the holy. Let's talk more, man. Yeah, I don't know, but sometimes it is a paradoxon. It's a paradoxon. Information freely, easy accessible. But I guess there is also some reverse Dunning-Kruger, because people don't simply drowning in available information and can't tell left and right. I mean, it requires really some meta research and parsing skills, which are for some basic, standard, but for others they can't figure shit out. Yeah. Okay, those guys, they're working out there. Ooh. Nope. Okay, one dude got wounded. They hit a minefield there. But now we need to complete that. Look at that. Yeah, that is created by the AI, which is good. So to some extent, they modify their movement to terrain. 2002. Yeah? Show me a modern game that you will have a hard time to find something like that. They modified. Yeah, they changed now to sneak. Because they realized, okay, we hit a minefield. Jimmy, perhaps running is not a good idea. So we will sneak instead. And if we make it through here, we might continue to run. It seems like that is mined. That is all made by the tech AI. 2002. And that here, they on their own decided how to traverse the terrain, and I think it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, of course you could argue that they might go here, but they decided that that last bit, which is very dangerous, they will traverse it from a direct line, which is the best way in a military, from a military thinking. If you go over a hill or something, you don't want to run like that or that. That will make you quite obvious, so you might run direct, which is the lowest profile. There's of course now a lot of seeing things where probably things are not, but still. That is... I see somebody calling this game old, and then they have no clue. Still has some technology that is better than modern games show. Which is to one point impressive, to other point of course sad. That's over 30 years, man. Your entire life, man. Shit, in some extent doesn't have really improved. You could even say it went backwards. Okay. Isn't there a button normally line of fire? But he's currently not firing. It's normally which really helps to see engagements. Yeah, show all moves and targets. Isn't it activated? It is. Yeah. Yeah, it's because he's currently not engaging, but it helps because you will then see a line and it immediately tells you that unit is engaging something. And there's no line for incoming fire, but I'm absolutely happy with that. That's something a local unit needs to figure out. So I'm even happy with the lower... with the fog of war, yeah. Those frogs are loud. What's that guy here? But can we push the infantry here on the right side? Could try. Could be also mind. Currently those guys not doing anything there. Come on, Tony, let's play here. We want some activity. I hear this order movement around, yeah, that is... Also, I mean, for some reason it took Combat Mission 2, I don't know, 3, 4 engine upgrades to reach that point. They had to discover their own technology again. I mean, it's an old game, but wargames haven't really evolved since then. No, I mean, the most pioneer work was really done in those years, yeah. Yeah, it's an old game from a date standpoint, yeah. But from a technology... And wargames have not evolved much, yeah, I mean... But they already have technology that is... I mean, what is a wargame, yeah? It's a Steel Division or whatever, yeah, but... There's still technology running under the hood of certain of those games that is having such a complexity. You could even find a programmer, even nowadays, that might handle something like that, yeah. War in the Pacific by Gary Grigsby, yeah. I mean, that dude almost, he went, I don't know what he did there in the basement, but he came out and people asked him, do you want to do another war in the Pacific? And he said, no, never. Never, man, that was too much. Dude simulated the entire Pacific War down to the shoe size of the pilots. I mean, sure, it has, of course, it works out rather, but... And you need 2 lifetimes to play 1 PBM match, but he tried, yeah. It is still, I mean, what some of those wargame developers did is still outstanding. It is not achieved by anybody else. Yeah, something like Combat Mission, War in the Pacific, sure, to some extent War in the East, okay. All those games. That is high complexity programming. CMAB, CMRT are separated by 12 years. It really doesn't feel like 12 years of improvement. Sinners run poor, it is a pain. They don't run poor, it's because Battlefront, man, they are so stupid at some point. And you can't use the upper 2 settings. There's a setting, those scenarios run fine. It's only if you use those upper 2 settings in one of those 2 sliders which completely will kill your frame rate. They should either... For example, that hard and earth mod, I recommend them to add a warning tag to those settings, and they did that. Yeah, poor performance or something. There's 2 settings in those CM2 games which kill performance. I tell you, they kill performance 90%. And the visual improvement is basically nil, it's draw distance improvement. They run okay, simply because the terrain simulation is very detailed, and Red Thunder is also a very cool game. But again, yeah, Battlefront is also like, yeah, at some point they're genius, at other points they're really plain stupid, man. Really plain stupid. It's unseen stupidity. Like running those 2 settings or whatever. I also said to him once, Jimmy Smith, can you please report to Nvidia your games have to run in dedicated graphic cards mode? Yeah, perhaps. Nah. Support rather spends 10 years. Why is my game running so bad? I have a very strong, yeah, Jimmy, but you have a hybrid graphic card and it is running on the integrated. Ah, okay. And those 2 settings are a joke. I don't know what it is, it's called different between games, but those 2 settings are a complete joke. They should be called experimental or use at your own risk, low performance. They will, no matter if you're using a NASA PC, those two settings will kill your frame rate. A lot of people play with them and then they say the game has a shit performance because the typical PC player sees the game and puts everything on max. Typical stuff. I also do that. If I buy a game, I put everything on max. Yeah. For example, in Arma, I've noticed now that they added some extreme settings, which are bad. But they put a warning there: extreme. Watch out if you use those settings. Shit performance. Yeah. I realized and said, okay, I don't even see a difference in those graphic settings, but my frame rate died 50%. And then I removed those extreme settings. Now the game is running perfect, and I don't even see a visual difference. I told them to do that because it is hurting the game's reputation. They never did that. In 15-20 years they couldn't pull that off, adding those tags or something. That those settings are simply killing frame rate. No, that is too much. That is too much IQ for it. They rather face than this bullshit. Because everybody who has a decent PC, and especially if you see something like Common Vision 2, especially some dude that has no clue, but there's even people that play that game for 20 years. They played with 5 frames. I said, why are you playing that game with 5 frames, man? Turn that setting down. Oh wow, now I have 50 frames. Are you telling me you played that game for 20 years with 5 frames or what? Yeah, I was thinking that it's a game. Good job. And that is of course somewhat, that is plain lift stability. Which is the same like not explaining your game features, like spotting. Oh shit, what is that? Oh. Sound contact. That's from the firing machine gun or something. That squad will soon make contact with those guys. I think that enemy foxhole is suppressed on that side. There's something firing out of those bushes. The CM2 is also an IQ 500 game. The spotting systems, but 95% of people don't understand how spotting and convey. I mean, you can really run up to a. You can basically have a scout team. There's this really nice German campaign in Normandy where you're sitting in a bush and simply sitting in the middle of the night and listening for 20 minutes, and then sound contacts pop up. What you do in reality? You set up an observation post and you do nothing else than staring for 30. That is hyper realistic. No other game ever did that. Or you spot something with your recon team. You don't have radios. You run up to the tank. You open up the tank. The tank commander says, "What did you guys got?" "Hey, Jimmy, behind that hill, AT gun." "Where?" "Showed me on the map." "Here, you see that hill? We spotted an AT gun there." "Where is it?" "Somewhere around there. I couldn't tell exactly." "What is it for AT gun?" "It's something bigger." "Ah, shit, okay, I'm ready, good." And then the tank gets into contact with that AT gun and has a faster target acquisition. That is genius stuff, yeah, but if you don't properly explain that with good examples and whatever, that is almost out making somebody angry, because somebody designs some rocket science technology. Common Mission 2 has that, but then completely fails it to explain. You're deploying a cure against cancer, and then you're putting simply that pillbox onto the counter and, "Hey Jimmy, how do I have to use it? What is that even?" "Some pills." "Okay. Yeah, figure it out." So basically, that is Common Mission, yeah. I've never seen something in that video game history. I know, I would like to meet Charles Moyan. Charles Moyan, if you hear me, if you're not too busy with your 20 women making babies, if you're still existing, if you're not a cyborg or already some Warhammer god, Jimmy, Emperor of mankind, yeah? Jimmy, I would like to talk with that dude. Nobody. Who is Charles Moyan? Is he AI or something, man? Is he some. That dude, man. He's the main developer, man. Nobody has seen. There's some photo on the internet here where he looks like Beach Boy, man. Some Beach Boy dude, man. Jimmy, putting a hunt order, man, on the ladies. I've never seen that man was not seen alive in the last 20, 40 years, man. That guy has invented a new level of privacy. Gee, that guy is, he's VPNing his life, man. That dude was never seen anywhere. He's not giving any interviews. Only that other guy is sitting in the forums, commenting 90% of his time on Ukraine. Yeah. Exactly, man. Charles Moyan is really the Jesus of wargaming. Appeared, made some wonders happen, disappeared. Never seen again. He went onto his surfboard in his Beach Boy look. He was last seen in the waves, like in that one movie, man, and disappeared, man, in the waves. You don't know, perhaps. Man, he made Combat Mission 1. He went back into the waves. He returned. Second return, man. Second enlightenment. To bring the society, to bring the human civilization a new wargame revolution. He realized, okay, the people are full of sin, they are not ready yet, and disappeared again. Question is if we will see a CM3. Yeah, wait, there's one picture of Charles Moyan. Or two. Let's go to sector. Moyan. Probably already also removed from the internet. He worked on Dangerous Waters? Nah, man, what? Yeah, wait. Yeah, true, Battlefront was involved with Dangerous Waters with Sonolith Studios, but I think publishing only, right? I think, because Battlefront was publishing a lot of war games. I mean, they were basically running like a Steam store for war games. I remember, man, when they had tank games. That is Charles Moyan. No, the picture is gone or what? Gee, look at that! You entered Charles Moyan. Have you ever seen so little pictures on Google? Look at that, man. Did he remove his surfer picture, man? Yeah, there's a lot of Charles Moyan. Battlefront, perhaps, right? Nah, are you kidding me? Nah, Google, show me, you clueless. Was it him? No, wait. No, I don't think so. Where's his picture? There was always one or two pictures of him. Hey, they're gone. The internet, that dude is so private. That dude is so holy that even Google decided, nah, man, we can't show his face. It's gone. But did they on purpose remove that? Because Charles Moyan Battlefront, I mean, it is quite specific. It's gone, I tell you. Even Google kind of figured out the picture was available, but now it's gone. I guess those pages that showed, there was one page that was, I think, an interview with those two guys. Probably also taken down. You see how fast. I mean, on one hand, it's of course good, but I mean, that was an official picture. There was a picture of those two guys made this game. And it's gone. Programmer. Yeah, but Battlefront, I mean, that's already quite specific. No, that is not. He's not there anymore. There was some picture of some good-looking surfer dude who is splitting the sea. I think he was splitting the sea, or he was turning water into wine. I can't remember anymore. No, it's because I guess the article is down. That was from some interview, and you see how if we lose information every day, a lot of web pages go down. Yeah, one of those guys, he's more the community guy. He's quite active in that case. They have a giga thread going on their topic there on the Battlefront forums. I think there's, I don't know, 5 million pages by now. He's gone, man. Or did I enter the name wrong? Molian, perhaps? Oh man, I don't know exactly. Molian. Nee, Moilan. I mean, he's mentioned there, but picture is gone. Who started a game industry career in 1900. Since then, Moyan is now 125 years old. Started as a composer of Over the Reich. Then Charles Moyan could heal people with his hands. And music composer, what? That is, I don't know, what's it. The latest work was 2007. Nah, Jimmy. That guy, I think he's somewhere. No. That dude, I think he has the main access to the engine. Only he can read Combat Mission 2, which is our own language. It's like Lord of the Rings. When they talk, there's some fantasy. It's Combat Mission, it's a language. Combat Mission is composed in Combat Mission. That dude, he has the keys. If he encrypts the engine, man, there's some matrix coming up. Only Charles Moyan and some third-party developers, but they do, I think, most 3D work. The kernel access to Combat Mission. Yeah, the kernel access. If you can read it, if you read it, your brain might explode. Yeah? If you see it only. Yeah? Oh man, this picture is gone. Damn it! I should have downloaded it and put it as a desktop background. Shit. And for that dude, I might also think a bisschen B-shot knee. God damn it, Charles Moyan, where's my hero? Jimmy. They removed that picture. If somebody can find that surfer, there's one surfer picture of him next to Peter Fissler. Jimmy, the gods, yeah. You know, Schindler here, Peter Fissler, Charles Moyan, John Tiller, man. Gary Grigsby before he made War in the Pacific, yeah, some dude with some halo. After Gary Grigsby made War in the Pacific, where some dude was a devil, man. Complete black. Carmack, yeah, okay, he's not wargaming, but yeah, sure, okay, yeah, of course, yeah, man, he was also programming. Carmack, Carmack, yeah, also, but wait, what was the other dude's name? Those two guys who worked together and did basically started the studio. Who was that guy who made, who then started his own studio, but it didn't work out. He made this game, which was quite a huge fail. What do we know about Charles, the programmer? Yes, man. Has he ever... brain in the jar, Charles. And somebody asked it 2 years ago. Romero, exactly. Yeah, no, but you're right. Yeah, Carmack was basically the main dude, the main programmer. Yeah. Nah, Jimmy, I think last time he was free climbing in summer shorts, the Everest, without oxygen, nothing. Jimmy, nobody knows anything about that dude. Everybody's only smack talking here. Yeah, exactly. That was his first games. He worked together with some of the other pop stars of wargaming. But I think I've never witnessed a person that is so mysterious, like Charles Moyan, man. That dude is simply as if he doesn't exist, man. As if he is some sort of folklore, something like, I don't know, some Bigfoot, man. There's the list: Bigfoot, that Area 51 alien, and then Charles Moyan. Yeah? Some people claim they have seen him, but somehow nobody believes them. Is he even existing? But somehow he's working. Man, dude is almost really like some religious figure. You can't really figure out. There's no solid evidence. Now even that one picture disappeared, man. I can't believe it. That person is a new definition of privacy. Did you already discuss what you go to? Yeah, I told you. You need to go archive. All other places are down. For the skin mods, I mean, yeah. You need to go to archive and figure for yourself out. All the web pages are down by now. Okay, let's wait for that squad. Ah yeah, tab is working exactly. Hey, oh, direct, Jimmy! Tony, there was a dude, I think. But combat is heavily abstracted, yeah? Rather think of it as a table war game. What you see here, those 3 dudes moving, is not what you see in what is happening in reality. There's 11 dudes. Yeah, whoa, watch, Tony. Contact. I was shoot. Oh yeah, nice. Very good. Somebody died. I think they took out the LMG. Pretty good job, yeah. They took out the LMG. Is the guy sitting alone there? Yeah. Those guys are still pinned. Oh, they are fit. Okay. Yeah, capture that trench. No, stop that sneaking. Ah, they don't want to. Shit. Yeah, because they're still basically pinned because of that mine impact. That's crazy. You can only move those orders in a limited fashion. That is also Combat Mission 1 exclusive. So you can modify orders, but only in a limited fashion. That is not existing in CM2, really cool. So otherwise you need to issue new orders, but that will cost a delay. Well, I mean, we can of course try to get them mobile again, but yeah, that's it. Okay, I mean, perhaps time to run on Babif Island. Then we have those guys. Okay, those guys moving over. And we have now vehicular coverage. Let's get that 20 mic here, and then let's move over. Pretty sure there's more positions, but now I can't wait that long. Keep that machine gun there, but everybody else move over. I mean, there's not really that much elements. So is it my PC or what? Oh, my keys. That's the problem. Yeah, WASD keys are a big advantage if you have that script. There's 2 rifle squads, where's the 3rd one? Okay. Well, perhaps that's why they were reduced. Okay, that's the platoon leader. Good, then roll over. Because you don't need to push it too hard. Alright, there's still a position there. I don't know if that armored car can offer... It's better if you run. I can also upgrade orders. Or modify or... That is a platoon lead. First platoon. First platoon is here. Okay. Jimmy, what are you doing here? Your men are there. Run over there and command. What are you sitting there? Bring perhaps the tank over there. On the other hand, where's the tankette? I need a bit more firepower here. Here. Okay, those guys crossing, that will take some time. No. No, with some time we're getting back into that game, and it's a good game. Beautiful game. Nice. Without a single casualty. Very good job. Okay, those dudes are not coming. Sharpshooter. Oh, okay. Didn't see that guy. One solo guy. Well, it's a sound contact. That looks like high caliber bunker MG. Not good. We might need a tank immediately. That might even penetrate the armored car. At least there's a depression. Oh nice, somebody fired. Oh, they put a bunker into that building. What was that? Something... was that a 20mm? But yeah, better turn the tank. Otherwise we might suffer damage. Yeah, look at that, I mean, the detail. Alternate rear-facing driver. Radio, yeah, which probably also changes something. I'll rotate that, Tony. Shoot and scoot. But yeah, bring up the tank. Ah wait, we have also... the tank is already deployed. And the pioneers, we forgot about those dudes. Ah, that is a 20 Mike tank, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Our 20 Mike should have some effect on those guys. Well, that looks safe access. You want to send the pioneers over there? They're equipped mostly with everything what you need. Those guys making good progress, those guys making good progress. I just want a grip on that flag and then we are basically already have a half win. We can occupy that island. This will take a long time to get something developed here. Not sure if we have that time. It's already turned 7 of 19. And those guys didn't even reach the other side so far. Or we reinforce the island. Yeah, let's see if we can move those guys into those forests here. And then still develop something. I see, the longer you play, the faster everything gets. Okay, let's see what we have here. Support weapons. Anti-tank rifle. I mean, the anti-tank rifle, yeah, use it. I mean, it's a high caliber rifle. There's a bit, of course, I might run into machine gun fire. Bring it forward. Just for the machine gun. I need to cover those guys. Quickly. Steppe. No, Woodsman. Woodstock. Okay, those guys making good progress here. I guess I occupy the trenches. So you can hit those. The Banger MG is quite obscured here by foliage. So occupy the trench for the time. Together with the sharpshooter. Let's put them all there in. Then we can still decide if we want to do an assault or something. The longer you play, the faster everything gets. It's really a very comfortable game to play. As you can also play from elevated, you know, Combat Image 2 requires you to go down to the ground level to check conditions and everything. Really like that you see quickly, okay, that is trees, good enough, move in. You don't need to check for every single bush. Sure, you need to check for elevation. And it often requires I mean, you can do a LOS check. So it's not also not really required, and LOS check is really good. Can I also do, remember correctly, you can do a LOS check from, no. As in CM2, but on the other hand, it's also, you can argue about it. If that is good or bad. Usually reoperations don't give you that granularity of figuring out how to position your man perfectly. We've spent our mortars, that guy can go back. Oh shit, those guys got hit. Something happened to those guys. Oh yeah, they're receiving flank fire. Which in that situation is max brutal. Also receiving frontal fire. That is of course, they're getting... There's a machine gun, man, and they're moving all in line. Nice ambush. That doesn't look good. I mean, you need vehicle support there. That squad is getting wasted hard. So far, no 5 casualties here. Yep.
Огонь!
Worst ambush possible. Nice. They decide to retreat, and we will also not get them. We need to suppress that position there to cover their retreat. They really got completely lit up, man. Like those dudes in when they opened that landing craft in Private Ryan. This vehicle, that vehicle has smoke, right? No. Oh, that was a tank that had smoke. Do those guys have smoke? No. No, man, they are really in a very bad position. Can we at least set up that machine gun? Cancel all yeah, I know, man. No matter what you now do, cancel all movement. Hit the deck. Wait for the vehicles. That is a broken squad, right? What is that? Is that the pink guys? No. No, sees all movement. Here, send that guy ultra fast. Full speed. Those vehicles are high enough to fire over, right? Yeah, barely, okay. Pioneers, get the tree line. Quickly. Second platoon. B company. It's independent. I think that was a weapons platoon. So we need all weapons on that tree line there. Those pioneers are still moving. Let's redirect them. They have a 50 Mike mortar. Yeah, that might come in handy. I mean, it's really a joke mortar, but better than nothing. Ah, damn. Yeah, okay, no, wait, it's fine. Tony, lead your company. Show me where the iron crosses grow. Okay, here we have also platoon-sized elements sitting in that tree line. I could advance on that hill and perhaps set up shop here. Let's first execute that here, which looks quite complicated. We need to watch out that they don't run into that machine gun and keep their heads low. Yeah, don't do it so complicated. Stay here. I mean, we could drive up to that bunker. But they're currently engaging. All 3 vehicles, or not 2 vehicles engaging. That tank is tank is not engaging. Those 2 guys are engaging, but so far without any effect. Another enemy element was eliminated here. Very good. There's another machine gun which they spotted engaging. So we'll keep those guys working there. There's a sharpshooter, got the Did they kill the sharpshooter or who got killed? The Soviet sharpshooter got killed. Let them work. I think we already have a grip on that location to some extent, right? Yeah. Good. That is what I wanted. Yeah, good. Move the platoon in. It's quite mixed up here. I mean, that island is important. Yes. They should auto maneuver. The tank is currently doing nothing. I'll just shift over one vehicle to that situation there. I'm currently in the Pacific in war factor, so far managing to survive. Nice. Okay, that vehicle is firing at those guys, which is good. Barbarossa should have kept him there. And they're firing 20 marks in that bunker. Ah, come on, that should show sooner or later effect. It is a wooden bunker. Somewhere, basically a reinforced building. What's that guy doing here? What was that guy's job? Wasn't there one vehicle scheduled for that here? Ah, he's figuring out stuff, okay. Could make room for those vehicles, so we have to, come on, push that bunker. It's quite a complicated crossing here, but I think we have good positions. Seems like that squad has, that platoon has fire superiority over those guys there. That bunker should also be already suffering casualties. Or that bunker, yeah, that reinforced building or whatever. I mean, they put a bunker into that building, which is basically some sort of simulation of a reinforced building. Okay, those guys... No, don't drive closer, that is good enough. But Jimmy, perhaps get inside. Stay here. Perhaps even reverse a bit. And engage those guys. Okay, those guys not that much in a bad condition. We suffered 6 casualties. Jimmy, got on the other side quickly. You are sitting all in the firing lane of that machine gun. They are pinned. They are also pinned. Yeah, HQ got wasted hard. Switch the side, man. You are the new leader. Hut, Karekis. Perhaps too much maneuver is not good. I mean, I have some cover there. But that platoon got lit up good. .50 magma mortar is in position. Set up 6 seconds. Exposure 30% in foxholes. Yeah, that 50 mic, I mean a direct impact, sure. But yeah, we need to save those dudes. Is there 2 motors? Wait, what? Those POs, yeah, they broke 2 motors. How about keep one in reserve? Get it away from the front line. Those guys have no vision. Exposure 30% in foxhole, firepower 48. I mean, they should decide on their own to engage. I don't want to micro them. If they see fit, they will engage. If they don't see fit, they will not engage. But of course, here we could stress out suppression fire. Come on, let's do that. Man, I will play. I think I will play more of it. I really find a lot of enjoyment in CM1. It is really it's basically the board game, war game, man. There's so much content. Alone engaging that single bunker. Such an enjoyment, really good simulation. If you have really good fantasy, I think, I don't know, perhaps it is. You basically see the pictures in front of your eyes. I mean, that here is basically what I mean, yeah, it's more board game style. Combat Mission 2 has, for me, the most impressive depiction of tactical warfare in a video game. Also from an audio-visual standpoint. I don't give a... Those people, it's old graphics. It depends. It depends on for what you look like. Do you look for some nice shaders or what? I don't know. Or do you really look for good explosions, authentic sounds? People running through the woods, Papa Sharp fires with a brutal rate of fire. Combat Mission 2 has here that is more happening in your head if you know, if you have that content in your head. 2 is I think still to this very day the most impressive, most brutal depiction of tactical combat. The more modern games. That's also this outdated graphics. What is good graphics? Is it most modern engines run on 50,000 post processors. To remove them, but yeah, I don't know if. It's also, of course, depending on mods. I don't even think that Combat Mission 2 has outdated graphics. The engine could be more accessible also for campaign makers and mission makers. For me, the graphics are absolutely not a problem. So graphics can look beautiful. especially in the depiction and the granularity of warfare. What's that? Jump? But yeah, that is matter of taste, but I guess I can tell better than most when it comes to that genre. So yeah, period. I know what to look for. And I think compatibility 2 is man, it can be a massive cinematic experience. Yeah, Steel Division. Yeah, okay, but no. Okay. If you really zoom in, man, what a single dude is doing and how a single dude is struggling in the midst of brutal combat on the Eastern Front or whatever, Western Front. And even CM1 is more cinematic than 90% of those games available there. The sounds and everything. Okay, I didn't check that situation, but good, I think we can cease that fire here. Jeez. Ah ja. Did a mode of fire? So I guess ammunition reloading. Okay, they're firing. Yeah, keep firing on those guys. I need that position removed. But der 50 Marks Tropfen auf den heißen Stein, das ist hier a joke, but that guy is suppressed. Do we want to push that, Jimmy? Not everybody is pinned here. A lot of those squads recovered. Advance and fire. Suppress that position, you have vehicular support. But they don't have free contact to those guys because they're currently pinned. I'm like, yeah, move to a higher position. This will be also make the advance easier, otherwise we will fire quite close over the head over our Tonys. No, I think a lot of people simply have no clue what they're asking for. I mean, Steel Division is basically what you might consider the top in this class. Yeah, but look at the terrain simulation. I mean, that game is designed and has its roots in a fast-paced multiplayer game where you're leashing out units, setting them to the front. There's a complete different design philosophy of gaming. My core mission is this, man. Okay, how do we do that? I mean, that would be now a Steel Division mission. It would be send units to the front line, yeah. The terrain simulation is way less complex in a Steel Division game. It's even less complex than in a CM1 game. Man, on the old channel we played those campaigns. 100, 200 dudes advancing and blowing up, tanks blowing up left and right. People screaming, especially if you have modded your game. There's nothing comparable to that. A combat mission is the king. 1 and 2, both. When it comes to tactical depiction of combat. From a top-down strategy point. It's like basically having an ants, what you call it, ants box, and you're watching what those ants are doing. When you throw in some snake or whatever. No, I think we should handle that situation. I think we recovered from that pretty good. What is that here? There's this pin squad here. Jimmy, what are you guys doing? They really are a bit confused there. Hit the deck. Don't move. That machine gun is operational and engaging. Those two vehicles will gain better fire positions elevated. No, not fast, Jimmy. reverse instantly. Man, wait, I can turn off those frogs, right? Those frogs are annoying me. Normally I like the ambient sound of Combat Mission 1, which I sometimes even miss in Combat Mission 2, which doesn't have really that ambient sound, except for the background... Ah shit, background gun noises, but Combat Mission 1 is in that regard a bit more sophisticated. You have wind noise and everything, weather noises, which is a small thing but can make a big deal. But here those frogs, man, they're so loud, frogging around. Yeah, no frogs. I need a no frog mod. Oh, no frogs, thank you. Okay, the bunker is abandoned. We push that tank out there. The crew. Bliet! They're still fighting with their machine gun. But that is now some infantry in the woods. We might now advance with that platoon. And the mortar is firing again. Those guys receiving good incomings as well. That platoon is doing a good job there, recovering. Yeah, I hear that tank. We need to put that tank, armored car into action. Currently doing nothing, but I don't want to drive him over there because there's a minefield. Let's see what we can find. I mean, we definitely need more vehicles here. We want to push those Soviets. Seems like they're not really good on anti-tank capability, or they're a bit panicking around. That guy got eliminated. Very good. Yeah, push those hard dudes, man. Push that island. You come over here and take that position. Which is also not really that useful anymore. At first I want the infantry on the right flank before we push through those woods. Don't want those tanks being lit up, man. There's still, those tanks are glass cannons. What's that here, barbed wire? That machine gun is still operational, okay. Good, advance. Flank fire, a bit, flank is exposed, we need to watch out a bit there. Yeah. Not sure if that is even required. Well, it would be great if you could do a push like that. But that will take ages. We're running out a bit of time. That is third platoon. Those guys are first platoon. Okay, yeah, a bit mixed up. It's not that important, but cohesion is sometimes a bit hard to maintain. I guess also of this dynamic command change, I guess. But I think that was something in the setup phase, if I remember correctly. After the setup phase, they should maintain their links. Yeah. Come on, let's cut that short. That is too complicated. We need to push forward. I think we have the Soviets at the wall. At least when it comes to that position. Good, that's another vehicle. I mean, that will take time. I want now a vehicle. How much ammo? 35, 114 mg. Okay. I want that guy on the flank that will also protect the infantry. I simply give him my order and see how he figures it out. We could of course push really aggressive. There's still perhaps infantry here. And then seal that position down. Yeah, come on, let's really push a bit. Go a bit aggressive. Yeah, not that aggressive perhaps. That tankette has no turret, right? No. Come on, push the tank forward. I don't want to let those guys escape. At least slightly. They're all sitting there in that corner. So that, no, the machine gunner is still operational. Perhaps we can even hit that machine gunner from here? No. No. Not really. But that guy will also freak out if he sees those tanks or hears those tanks. And perhaps we can get the commander or whatever. Good. So what is going on here? They're advancing. They will not really participate. If that is really the time counter. It is 19 plus, so I think if the position is contested, they will keep fighting. Wiped out whole Nippon human wave with close air support. I think Combat Mission 1 has a bit more relaxed time limits, if I'm but not sure exactly how the plus resolves. If it is a random addition or if something like contested. Oh, yeah, some time. Don't overdo it now. First, bring that machine gun over. And that anti-tank rifle. Pioneers, eyes and ears. Let's roll. Another foxhole there.
Weiter!
Oh, I see retreating. Nice push. I know those guys are quite on a run. They're sitting down there here. Yeah, it will be hard to hit them. But they should soon make contact with our rifle squads. And we have basically eyes on our objective. And there was a foxhole here somewhere. Can we ambush that position from the rear? Yeah, no, not really. But we can definitely cut them off. Do we really want to go that far? Yeah, let's do it. Come on. I mean, so far it looks good. Okay, that platoon is making really good progress. Did it change to advance? I think so. Did I? Or is, because they were so fast. Is advance having such a high pace? I think they changed to that. Now that guy. Yeah, I mean, you guys. That is basically your daily objective now, to get that foxhole done. But you probably don't need 3 armored cars. Redirect one. I need more armored cars here. Is that guy now blocked? Okay. The Recall Mission 2 engine would struggle hard. Let's see how they pull that off in CM1. Yeah, that's normally where that vehicle was. But the tankette is coming. Oh, that was an impact. Yeah. I'm sure, Tony, this is something bigger, mortars or something. Immobilized. And shaken. Is that mortars or is that anti-tank? Looks quite precise fire. Good, that guy got immobilized. He's now blocking the entire path. That stuff has to continue. Somebody bring up, we need to protect that tank. He's getting hit by something. I hope the crew will not leave. The machine gunner is still operational. But I mean, that squad is doing a good job here. It's on the other side. Sharpshooter. It's targeting infantry. Is there some dude inside? No. Should we all in on the island? Let's go. The set position. It's not really value. I mean, we need that here. We are now committed here. I need that machine gunner taken out. Bring that armored car here in. But they can't pass that fjord here properly. Okay, because the immobilized guy is blocking everything. The heavy machine gun and some platoon elements arrived. We might push into that building. Oh. There's some AT gun or what? Or anti-tank rifle or what? It's not really killing that guy. The turret hood? Are they shaking? It's not penetrating, okay. It might be anti-tank rifle or it might be mortar safe. But the line... hard to tell, it could be mortars. Hit that like building. Okay, that guy arrived. It's what Jimmy man is in this cat car. There's nothing going on there. Okay, some vehicles passing. Ah yeah, machine gun. Let's set it up here. For the beginning, perhaps we can lay down some fire there. Who the heck is... what is that here? Okay. That rifle squad here. Could also hit that building for the beginning in order to eliminate finally that machine gun. Because those guys will take some time. Yeah, but don't mix things up. Are they in contact? No. Oh. he's engaging something there. What is that? A T-26. What the heck is going on with that tank? The tank rifle. Guys receiving fire. Something in that building, anti-tank rifle, I don't know what. Yeah, there's a gun. Yeah, there's a AT gun. Unidentified. Sharpshooter. That's engaging. Oh Are you good? Damn it, he's out of ammo. It's something small, very small, but it is some gun. I mean, it can't penetrate my tank. Jimmy, is that turret operational? It is. Ah, psych blocked. Can you fire anyways? Somehow hit it? Lob that round. Ah, come on, you can. Yeah, that T-26, perhaps. Where's my anti-tank rifle? Just arrived, okay. Where's it? Yeah. And then enjoy. But I think that tank is disabled or something. It's not moving. Perhaps it was hit by the RT and he's somehow sunk in there. It's immobilized or whatever. Unusual engine noise. Perhaps indicates that something is wrong with it. Who is moving in here? Is it a vehicle? Yeah, they still take time. Another vehicle got bogged. Oh. There's somebody there in order to engage that gun. Sharpshooter is out of ammo. Blocked. Oh, and you guys see that? Yeah. Engage. Then we had another 50 mic, but the Pioneers, yeah, they're far away. Yeah, but that 50 mic is against buildings is useless. I have already enough elements there, I can't push more. It's completely... We need to eliminate that gun. Gun is the only thing that is preventing us currently from putting a tighter grip on those guys. We need to push forward and engage that gun. But yeah, see, that guy is now trying to engage a gun, but not sure if it works out because he is blocked. I mean, a gun can hit the tank, so come on. The tank should be able to hit the gun. Okay, but they will see. I can't locate it. Or did they take out the gun? Oh. Need more vehicles. Because imagine that the light gun is out of ammo. So I don't feel this firing anymore. On fire main gun.
Igen is, századosul! Lelőj!
Shit. There's another gun. Firing something smaller caliber. Okay, those guys hit the building. And finally a vehicle made it over. Oh, the tank rifle. That guy also got immobilized. Okay, 2 vehicles stuck. Yeah, you guys can handle it. We've obviously needed 50 mortar, but yeah, Jimmy Pioneers. Everybody on that island. Let's roll. Everybody run over there. I don't care. Hit those woods. I need every man. Everybody that can fight. Okay, those guys still slowly advancing. I guess Soviets left their position. But yeah, I mean, that if you're out of combat, get that position done. Okay. Machine gun is covering. One vehicle is covering. I need that vehicle. So it's have a strong position on the other side. Currently this firefight situation, but not really with fire superiority. There must be also another anti-tank gun or something. That here fires rather small rounds. But there's something that fires bigger mortars or something. Could be mortars that they have. I mean, would make sense that they would fire mortars here in that pre-planned position. Yeah, but right now it is firefight. Seems like we finally flushed out that machine gunner. Well, that light gun. Bring that machine gun over into that building. I don't think we can use the bunker. What happened to the armored car crew? Okay, they're running away. Good. That vehicle is as good as new. It is abandoned, but not destroyed. Just got some scratchings on the paint. But yeah, down to 2 crew members, casualties. There's minimum company-sized elements we're fighting there. At least remnants of company. Let them fight. He spotted the T-26, good. I think that guy's... he's firing at us, right? No. But he's definitely getting hit. Yep, they're leaving, I think. Yep. But the tank is abandoned. I probably was out of combat before because of that mortar strike we did. Alright, position doesn't look good. The name is totally one. Yeah. Just totally one. It's taking quite a beating. Man, what a beauty. Yeah. It's really, those early weapons are nice. That is a Romanian tiger. Hungarian, excuse me, Hungarian tiger. Oh, cool. Good old days with combat mission. Yeah, we will definitely play more in the future. I really enjoy the old school combat mission. Because I played so much of combat mission, modern combat mission, and it's a different experience. It's more like really this ASL 3D or... Yeah. Yeah, but that looks tough. I don't know if you can really get that under control. We don't really have fire superiority. A lot of people suffering casualties, getting out of ammo. So that guy is still alive. That's unbelievable. That light gun probably still operational. On the other hand, there was something else firing on us. I think that's not the only gun. They have something else here somewhere. Something bigger that is firing on us. I think that light gun is some sort of low caliber, fast firing gun. Well, it's still firing on a Toldi.
Területet biztosítani.
Is he moving out? Okay, did we got it? Okay. So HUD is... So, is contact. Because he stopped moving. Remove my king tiger, micro tiger, please forward. We need to apply more pressure. Man, I really love those early war Hungarian, Romanian stuff. Some small tankettes, yeah, some machine guns and everything, really cool. I don't know, do I want to push it in, but there's not really that much cover. Those guys are pinned, they need support. So those two squads are currently not engaging. It's better having... That's a bit dangerous. But there's our last call here.
Csendet! Spórolra lősz el!
No. It's a bit too hardcore.
Szórodjatok szét!
Vorwärts, anfahren!
Well, some German Hungarians. Minor defeat. Okay. Man, look at the casualties. Ah, that's points, okay. Man killed in Action 4. Crazy, man. Look at that engagement. Well, there was only 16 casualties versus 14. Okay. Der Token Show, man. That was Verbindungsoffizier. Only 4 KIAs and 16 wounded versus 14. Yeah, okay. Right. Expected more. See what I'm interested, quite curious what they had. Yeah, getting those people involved here, that was a bad idea. They somehow underestimated how much time it will take and what happens if we run into trouble. You really need to concentrate your effort, yeah? Here, Schwerpunkt, and then pull it off. Yeah, that platoon basically got involved here into unnecessary action and got pinned down. As that platoon would have been badly needed here in that engagement to achieve fire superiority. Let's see how much. Only one thing I'm so missing in this in Combat Mission 1, that is unfortunately not part, is what I really love about the modern Combat Mission 2 games is that you can see every impact of at least higher caliber weapons. Yeah? I want to see that tank, man. It would be completely littered with impacts. That guy here, but they held firm, yeah? Not a single casualty. I mean, that tank is completely done and was also not really participating in the fight. Not sure why. The turret was operational. Or perhaps optics or whatever is running under the hood. That tank is completely wasted. Having so 50,000, 50 decals of incomes. Six infantry casualties cost, okay. And the T-26 blown up. Yeah, green, okay. But the casualty rates are way lower here than in modern combat mission. That's crazy. I mean, in that firefight. In that combat action we had here, casualty rates was quite low. I mean, it's quite outstanding. You have a lot of firing, a lot of volume of fire and ammunition expended with little Achievement. Sure, if you would have pushed over, the casualties would have risen 1000%. So what was that for a gun? Yeah, some anti-aircraft gun. 20mm. 25, okay. But 25mm, man. That tank survived? I mean, that one armored car got taken out. I don't think that was firing at our tank. If you would have moved a bit forward, then probably. On the other hand, yeah, but that building was blocking. Because 25mm is... Okay, I mean, he has only HE ammo, but I guess he probably already spent the AP. 25mm for those light tanks is quite brutal. Even 20mm. They will not really sustain it for a long time. Yeah, what they had else? What was that here? T-26? Ah yeah, okay, there was another one. Gun damaged. Yeah, probably by that. What's that even here for? Why they are so sunken there? Is it some... they got probably stuck, or what is it? Unusual engine noise. Does he operate that short L-17? Okay. They had those short... Yeah, true, they had shorties, and then they had those... 26M45, T26A, okay. Well, it's basically some sort of simulation of... I mean, they use those turrets of those tanks in stationary defense positions. Yeah, company. Or they fire, yeah, 50mm perhaps they fired at me. I mean, sure, if you directly hit a light tank, you might immobilize it, but will probably not penetrate. I guess that was what we what we got. That 50mm. And that 82 here. That is still loaded with ammo. They both loaded with ammo. But yeah, I don't know how much they had stock up there. But yeah, that guy is definitely firing here on my Toldy here. Look at that. 82mm. Normally 82mm is brutal. 80mm mortar shell hits one of those light tanks. You can't even take out a medium tank with him. The Toldy here. Hungarian King Tiger. Yeah, the full house here. Not even close. That platoon is in really good shape. Complete here. SV, yeah, 2 platoons. Plus some support. Plus mortars. Still running nice ammo. Not entirely sure, is that full ammo? Is that the remaining ammo? What's the game I was showing there in that case? I see my out of ammo Tony. No, 0. That guy disappeared. That was simply tank hunter team. Nah, but they had a machine. Was that the Papa Shah that lit us up there and caused 5 casualties? Yeah, that was the Papa Shah. Some Papa Shah Tonys. Oh, the machine gun team, nah, it's not eliminated, otherwise it would be stated here. There was a team of 2 that lit up our entire platoon, eh? That is a good example here. Tank hunter team. They probably rolled both Barbarossas. And they lit us up with those Barbarossas. I was thinking it's a machine gun. Normally I can't tell the noise of a Barbarossa, but not exactly sure. It seems like there was only a team of 2 sitting there. Causing 5 casualties, we got 1. And they held up the entire platoon, plus 3 armored cars, plus a pioneer platoon. 2 dudes. Yeah, nice. I liked it. That is warfare for you. Yeah, this is what combat mission simply gets it right in that regard. Absolutely. I mean, some couple of guys can really become a problem. And in the right position, right time, can rival the entire platoon. Like that Finnish sniper dude. Did our sniper got anything? No. Maximum range 600 meters. This guy's at least got 3 infantry casualties. There is no Z folder, I think, but you have to replace it. Either you need to use. I don't know if I don't think there's an all red folder. You use basically those files are completely accessible. I think you replace them directly, or you use something like a mod tool, like generic mod enabler. As far as I know, there was some mod tools, but most of them are not really working anymore. But those files are not put in those archives like in Modern Combat Mission. I think they're completely accessible in the folder structure. Can directly replace them. Good, yeah, that was here the new versions of. It's likely enhanced versions. Yeah. Widescreen support, but that's the only thing that those games missed. I mean, something is wrong with that direct draw, at least for some systems. It could be fixed, but otherwise the game was already in good condition. It's nothing really. Yeah, sure. I mean, WASD controls could be somehow. That could be available by default. But yeah, you can fix it with AutoHotkey script as I showed in the beginning. Okay, I will be right back and play something else. But we will definitely play more classic combat mission. This game has tons to offer, especially considering also the entire time frame covered and thousands of custom scenarios, campaigns. Okay. Yeah, good. Be right back.